Hello, my Sagittarians, and welcome to Timsy's Naked Tarot. Don't worry, Timsy is not naked. The tarot reads are naked, by which I mean I strip out as much astrology as I can. I do that by using this plain deck here to bring in the star sign or the type of star sign of the person we are doing the read about. It is a general read. It may or may not resonate with you. If it does resonate with you, that is fantastic. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry. Not every read can resonate with you. If this one's not, go and check out the fire signs energy overviews. Plenty of Sagittarian reads in there. Also check out the other overviews, the other water signs, earth signs and air signs, because sometimes Sagittarians pop up as the incoming people in that. So you might have a few reads in there as well. Okay, so we are doing a read today about the Hanged Man, which came out in the All Signs overview I done for the full moon in Pisces, which was on the 31st of August. Okay, so yeah, we're talking nearly like 2 weeks ago, but it's okay because that's how my cycles go. Normally you're around about this time after the whatever moon I pour read on. Okay, so yeah, you're dealing from about now for the next like nearly 2 weeks. The Hangman is a card of, well, it's a card of sacrifice, but it's also a card of looking at things from a different perspective, which perhaps leads to the sacrifice, or the sacrifice caused you to look at that from a different perspective. It is a major arcana. It does have the universe's hand all over it. The universe is normally making you look at things differently, reminding you of things and the like. To go with that, we have got the Two of Wands. We're looking at a decision, a choice about some sort of emotional fulfillment. The Ten of Cups also indicates that there is a new beginning somewhere in all this read. Okay, tens are always not so much indications, they are actually the doorways too. The 10 is the last card in the sequence of the numbered suits, and after the 10 comes, well, an ace. Normally don't have an 11, so right, there we go. That card came from the bottom. That is going to be the overall energy of this read, which is the Seven of Wands, a defensive energy. And we are dealing with a Jack of Spades, which I believe, off the top of my head, is a Gemini. But I will just check. Yeah, bang on. God, I've learnt my list nearly off by heart. Okay, so we're dealing with a Gemini. You're dealing with a Gemini. I'm not dealing with a Gemini because I'm not a Sagittarian. This will be the energy of your Gemini, okay? This will be the energy of the situation between you and your Gemini. This will be the energy of what the Gemini feels about it. Okay, so the energy of your Gemini is the Queen of Wands. Your Gemini could be someone who likes to be centre of attention. It's very social, likes going out and about, but also is someone who is almost has two separate lives. They have their social life and then they have their domestic life. Okay, that looks really blurry. What's going on with that? There we go, that's better. I hope that ain't been blurry all the way through this. If it has, drop in a comment, let me know. I apologise. Yeah, so it could be someone who yeah, when they're out in public, they're putting a brave face on it and everything, but when they're at home behind closed doors, they're crying about the situation or something like that. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers out for this Queen of Wands. I'll just quickly cover the other cards, because if you are only listening to this and not watching it, you can't see them. For the situation between you and them, it's the Fool, and for how they feel about it is the Seven of Cups. I was talking about the Seven of Wands before launching into that. The Seven of Wands is, yeah, someone's be on the defensive, defending their corner is more appropriate. Right, okay, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, and the Empress at the end. Okay, right, so your person could be, I've got to phrase this carefully. They could appear to be in a little bit of dire straits when it comes to finances. I don't think they are. This is some of that sort of like mask energy they have as the Queen of Wands. They let people think they are not well off, not well to do, a bit hard up on their money. They might wear scruffy clothes, for example. They might not always, when they're out socializing, they might be wearing all the good stuff, but when they're sort of like just popping to the shops and things, they're not really overly bothered about putting on their makeup. I dare to say they might even look a little bit like a tramp, or if you are in the United States, a hobo. Okay, so they got that sort of like look about them that they're a little bit hard up for cash. But because the Empress has come out at the end here, this is either telling me that they are, but they just really don't care. They get enough to muddle through life, and that's happy with them. But what I'm really feeling from that is they're actually quite a successful person. They're just not bothered by money, finances. It is what it is. It's something they need to make to live. But after that, well, they don't really care how much they've got. If they get extra, if they don't make quite as much as they thought they were going to, which is probably one of the reasons they have actually got quite a bit of success in that field of their life, because the fact that they don't care, it's like, well, I will take a risk on this and the outcome will be the outcome, kind of lets the universe play a free hand when it comes to manifestation. Okay, staying neutral about the outcomes of your manifestations is probably one of the strongest energies you can actually put into your manifestation. The 9 of Swords, this person tends to be a little bit on the anxious side. Okay, they look like, or they come across as worrying about a lot of issues which they really don't have any real control over. Like, they might be worrying about what the weather's going to be like in 3 weeks' time when they go on holiday. Things like that. You can't control the weather. Well, that's a totally different can of fish. You can control the weather. And people do control the weather. But in this particular case, the common folk can't control the weather. Okay, so it's something they're going to worry about, but it's totally out of their control. With the 7 of Swords here, sometimes they appear to be a little bit shady, a little bit shifty. They may take controversial views on things. They may also, I don't know, sort of every now and then pop out just these random little statements about, well, yeah, I got all my money by robbing a bank, or things like that. Now, with every jest, every little humorous thing anyone ever says, there is always an element of truth in there. Now, I think the element of truth is probably not they actually went in and held up a bank, but it is very possible that they somehow got some compensation off a bank somehow for a tiny little mistake the bank made, which they picked up on and then made a big deal about, and the bank's gone, here, just take this and keep quiet about it. Okay, coming to the Empress right at the end, which is telling us that they are generally quite lucky, or they appear quite lucky. Things tend to go their way more often than not. They have no problem attracting people, especially with this energy at the beginning. They are a very good focal point for attraction. They are very attractive, generally speaking. Okay, crossing all this is the Moon. Now, the Moon is telling me there is an, like what's the right word? a cloak of mystery around them. Yeah, they only ever let anyone see what they want people to see. They never, and again, that is a kind of like an energy coming off that Queen of Wands again. And there's a lot about this Gemini. You just don't know, and a lot of people don't know. They are very private when it comes to themselves, and they will only let people sort of see what they want people to see. Okay, so let's have a look at your connection with this Gemini. Interesting, Gemini. I'd love to have this person as one of my friends. Right. So the Fool is a new beginning. It's starting the journey of the major arcana, literally. So this situation is either in its infancy, it's in its early stages. You haven't known this Gemini for very long and you're starting the journey with this Gemini. Or it could be that you are just starting a new stage. So perhaps you've known this Gemini for a while, but something in the dynamics has changed. Okay, we got a Knight of Wands and we got a Knight of Pentacles. We got the Star and we got the Two of Cups. Okay, I'm just going to put you on pause for a second while I clear my throat. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is kind of like, it's kind of like chasing one's own passions, chasing one's own desires. Oh, going straight into the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is kind of like an energy of, yeah, I'm chasing my desires, but I don't really mind when they come. Okay, it's quite a fast moving knight, probably the second fastest moving knight with the slowest knight here. Now, the slowest knight always gets the result. So whatever pans out from this connection between you will definitely happen. It might not happen the way you thought it was going to. It might not happen when you thought it was going to, but it will eventually click into place. You might want it to go faster. It's being slowed down somehow. Okay. You might feel it's going really fast, but then you sort of take a step back and think, well, it's only actually been 5 weeks. Yeah. So there's this energy of, what's the best way to describe it? It's like, yeah, it's like just life generally at the moment. I don't know if it's like this for you, but it's definitely like this for me. We are now sitting in the middle of, or nearly in the middle of September. It only feels like about like a month or two ago, we were starting the year in January. And to me, time seems to be moving faster, but at the same time slowing down. And that's what's happening here. This connection is moving faster, but slowing down at the same time. The events, okay, that's a better way of saying it. The events seem to be going faster, but in a slower time. It's still contradicting. I can't make it any better than that for you, I'm sorry. But it is all about this star. Now, this star is generally seen as an energy of a wish. Normally it comes after a tower. In fact, it's one of the few cards in the tarot deck where you know that because this star is out, that there has been a tower somewhere in this connection. Possibly the tower is a sudden realization that you love this person and you want to chase them on a romantic level. And that would explain this Knight of Pentacles. You've known them for a long time and it was inevitable that you would eventually fall in love with them. And so it could be some sort of energy like that. But the star is sort of telling us that there is a wish involved. This particular star, she is pouring the water into the river, which is the 5D, and the ground, which is the 3D. Okay? And so that's what these are representing. Within this connection, it has been manifested by someone, is what this card is saying. One of you or the Gemini, has kind of talked to the universe about what they want out of this connection, okay, but has also made it very clear to everyone around them as well what they would want out of this connection. their deepest desire. Okay, the Two of Cups is a coming together of energies. Now, as I've already said, you may have known this person for a long time, okay, and you're just starting a new cycle. Well, this is the coming together of energy, the new cycle, okay. You may have known them for a long time, but they may have been a colleague. They may have been just someone who works in the shop, which you go into once a week, something like that. Yeah, and you've never really had the opportunity to come together, but perhaps you then met this person outside of the normal environment, and that's what's allowed the energies to come together. Normally, while you're in your standard environment with them, there's a block somehow. Maybe a clause in your contract saying that you can't date another colleague. Yeah, if you're in military industry, I suppose is the best way to describe it. A military background, you're not really meant to fraternize with your other people in your own unit, in your group. If you're high up in the military, you're not meant to be fraternizing with people low down in the military. It looks like you're abusing your power and stuff like that. And so you've had a situation, and again, this could be what the Tower was, the meeting outside your normal situation, which has allowed the wish to then come about and then the energies to come together. It can be indicating of a soulmate. Here is the Hangman from the overall, look at that. Underneath the Hangman was the Tower. See, told you there's always a tower when there's a star. Okay, and it's also a vice versa thing. If you have a tower in a reading, yeah, there's a star just on the peripherals of this reading. Not this reading, the reading what has a tower in it. Okay, anyway, we're talking about the Hangman crossing all this. Like what I said about meeting this person outside their normal environment, you have suddenly looked at things differently. It's like perhaps they always had their hair done in a certain way wherever you normally meet them, and then out maybe they work in McDonald's and they have it in a hairnet all the time, for example, and then you've met them outside of this environment and you've suddenly suddenly realized, wow, that hair is actually quite nice underneath that hairnet, and it really frames their face really well, and all this sort of thing. I would love to run my fingers through it, etc., etc. And so you're starting to look at them and the situation in a totally different way, which in turn is actually causing a Tower, because you never really thought about this person in this particular way. The Nine of Pentacles, a little bit of freedom and independence. That's probably actually coming away from that Nine of Swords, I feel, up there. So I feel that's more for the Gemini. Anyway, so how does the Gemini feel about this? The Seven of Cups. Okay, choices. Okay, the Gemini feels like there's a choice about this connection, which will be the Two of Wands we had in the cup. Okay, there we go, that's our first card. The Seven of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands. Well, let's see if we can get it, shall we? What would be the other one? The Seven of Swords. Oh, that's already out. It's up there. We can't get it again. Never mind. And the Ace of Wands. Now, if you remember, right at the beginning when I'd done the cup, we had the Ten of Cups, and I said this would be indicating a new beginning. Well, we've had one, okay, and we've now got another. This is how they feel about this situation. They feel that there is choices to be had, but they felt these choices have actually been there for a long time, and it's just a case of waiting for the right moment to pick the right choice. The Wheel of Fortune there is saying that the energies are now at that right moment. The tide of time keeps marching on for every one of us. None of us can do anything about that. And yeah, it's just now the time is right to harvest. Basically, that's what these two cards say in a nutshell. Yeah, this is about like reaping what you've sown. This is all about the timing being right. It's now time to reap what you've sown. It's harvest time, okay? And so the choices have always been there for this person, this situation, but it's now like with this chance meeting or whatever that coming of together of energy is now the time is actually right at its prime. The Seven of Wands, again, the overall energy of this read. And the Gemini is, I don't know, a little bit defensive. They're defending their corner. I feel actually they're defending their slightly secretive life they have more than their corner. They don't want you to be getting too close too quick with them. Okay, with the Ace of Wands at the end there, they are looking for something fiery, passionate as well, though. So they sort of kind of understand that perhaps at some point you will be breaking through that cloak of mystery, but they're still sort of being a little bit defensive on that. They're not opening up too quick for you. The King of Pentacles, they see this as a very successful opportunity for them. And remember, yeah, they might look hard up on their money, but they're not. Okay, they are a very successful person because they're coming out as the Empress up there. Okay, King of and there's another soulmate card. Yeah, they see this as a very successful opportunity with someone they've always possibly had a little something for. Okay, this card is a card of reminiscing and looking back at fond, happy memories. Yeah, sometimes it can be procrastination and wasting time thinking about what I could have done differently in the past, but most of the time it's more of a sort of like an energy of it's been there for a while. Okay, there is memories or emotions from the past for this person about you. Perhaps the first time you walked into their McDonald's. Yeah, that might have been the first time they thought of anything, right? Well, I just started randomly shuffling and the Nine of Wands came out. And the Nine of Wands has come out sort of nearly more in reverse than in the upright. So, as I said about that Seven of Wands down at the bottom there, where they are being defensive about their mysterious side of life, that is actually coming out. It's breaking down. The Nine of Wands is not a very strong Nine of Wands, with that being half in reverse. And yeah, that wall, that barrier is coming down for you. Okay, so let's have a look at the outcome. What is the outcome for my Sagittarians, please, universe? If all goes to plan. Well, obviously, the universe's plan. The universe has a plan for each and every one of us. Okay, we quite often get in the way of that plan with our own free will. Okay, so we got the sun coming out. So this is happiness, this is joy, this is security. This is the revealing of that mystery of the moon, because when the sun comes out, the moon becomes lesser of itself, shall we say. It chases away the shadows, it shows everything in its real light. So yeah, so you'll be finding out about the other side of this Gemini you've never really known about. And it's going to make joy, happiness, security. I don't think for 1 minute all those are meant to be in reverse. There's probably one in reverse in here, but we would see that as this comes out. Okay, the universe did kind of puke over my table with all these, eh? Yeah, we'd do it like that. Okay, so obviously the universe can't give me another Wheel of Fortune. It's already given me one. It's given it to me as the Magician. The time is right. Okay, everything about a magician's tricks is all about the timing, and the timing has to be just right. So we got the King of Wands going with the Queen of Wands up here. Yeah, there's this happiness, there's this joy, there's this passionate. This is a little bit of a self-vain passion, though. This could be you, it could be them. This is actually your outcome. This is probably, well, again, it could be you, it could be them, but you're going to be getting this self-vain passion coming through. There is this intention being set with the Three of Wands for the outcome, and the Queen of Wands coming straight after that. This is telling us that there will be a coldness between you. You both have this tendency of wanting to be the center of attention. Okay, I don't know if that is true or not about you, but for them, definitely, the Queen of Wands has come out within this read twice, kind of in something to do about them, because this is an outcome, so it's about both of you. That is how they are. So yeah, they are definitely this Queen of Wands. It could be just saying you do make the perfect pair. Okay, you make a divine coupling, but it's a very passionate divine coupling, but also a very secretive divine coupling. Yeah, you both might not want to let onto the real world who you're seeing. Yeah, you might not want to let your inner circle know that you're seeing someone else or something like that. I'm not saying that there is someone already on the scene. I haven't got any indication for that in this read anywhere, but there is this case of maybe they're just not your normal type. Maybe there is a religious difference between you two. Maybe there's a social difference between you two. Maybe she's the lady and you're the tramp, although she was coming out as more of the tramp aspect of things. Maybe you're the lady. And it doesn't. Whenever I talk genders in tarot, yeah, it's just generally talking ladies because of the picture on the card, or lady and the tramp. Well, if one of you's the tramp, the other one's going to be the lady. You could be masculine or male, but you're the lady in the scenario. Sorry, I don't know why I had to explain that to you, but there you go. We've got the Hangman coming out again, which is again our main energy from the read. There is this element of sacrificing something, which is creating a new tower. This is not a tower linked with this star, but we know with what I said about that, from that new tower will come a new wish. Okay, but the sacrifice is going to create a tower. I don't think that is a particularly bad tower. With the Magician coming out at the end, as I said, is that divine timing again coming out? Is the time is right? The time is now. All of a sudden, you're going to be looking off one way, a bit of magic's going to appear, and it's going to be, oh, wow. And then we've got the King of Pentacles again crossing. I'm going to actually take that as the crossing card, crossing all this, which is all going to be successful. But then again, that secretiveness I said about these two, yeah, that's coming out in this King of Pentacles. Normally, I would say the King of Pentacles is proud but modest. Okay, doesn't rub people's noses in it. You're not going to be broadcasting this off the top of the highest building you can find or anything like that. You are very proud. You're very happy about it with the Sun and the King of Pentacles, and the Sun and the King of Pentacles is also saying that's very, very successful. If you were thinking of any question just before I pulled that card out, the answer was a yes, by the way. Okay, but it is going to be successful. You are going to be very proud of it as well, but you're just not really going to be broadcasting it everywhere. That's the modesty side of it. Yes, I've finally got my Gemini, or well, unexpectedly got my Gemini maybe, but I'm just gonna run with it. I'm not gonna tell everyone, and they can just find out when they do. Okay, so that's kind of like the energies of the whole kit and caboodle there. Okay, hopefully that resonated with you. If it did, fantastic. If it didn't, don't worry. As I said at the beginning, go and check out my playlists, or wait until in about a fortnight when I do my next Sagittarian read, and it might not pan out for you with that one. Okay, I'd like to say a quick... oh, clear my throat again in a minute. I'd like to say a quick thank you to any of you who have subscribed to my channel or like this video. It does help me greatly. It gets me seen by the algorithms, and thus rolls my video out to more people who might need these messages. Also, if you comment on my video or anyone's video, come to think of it, yeah, the same kind of things happens. It's interaction with the video from the viewer, which makes the algorithms work. Okay, so if you feel like dropping me in a comment, I'm sure I did mention something about doing a comment and putting me right somewhere when I said something in the early part of this video. Feel free, drop in the comment. I don't mind what you say. Okay, I'll get back to my comments as quick as I can, because I know what it's like to actually sit there waiting for someone you've actually left a comment on to ignore it and never reply. But some people are just like that. Some people have massive amounts of traffic on their YouTube channels and don't have time to reply to every comment. In fact, some people actually hire other people to deal with their comments and their emails and stuff. I'm not at that stage. Don't think I'll ever will get to that stage, but hey ho, there you go. I don't care. All I do is do this to help you lot. So if you talking about helping you lot, if you think this might help someone else, share the video out. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will catch you all next time I do a video for you.